I just remember doing the beat, and Renee, just so you understand, Renee is the dark skinned one. So Renee said, Kay, let me get that beat. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, let me get that beat. I like that beat. So I gave her the tape. So I remember I had the MPV van at this time. I had an MPV van. I had a royal blue MPV van. So I'm sitting outside of the studio, up at Dave's studio, and Renee pulls up, and Renee comes over to me and says, Kay, put this tape in. Play that beat I gave you. I'm gonna sing something for you. I got something special for you. And she was just like, I made a song for you. That's why it's called Hey Mr. DJ. And
Right.
she was like, this is my thank you, and it's for all of the DJs, but you are our DJ. This is my thank you. And she started singing a record to me. And I was like, yo, let's go do it. Let's go lay this down. Let's go ahead and do it. Because I was sitting there waiting for them to come to work in the studio. And she pulled up and she had that ready to go that day. Because that's how I would work with them. I would ask them, okay, what we doing today? What y'all got? I don't what if I didn't have a beat ready for them, I would ask them go on the piano because they would write songs too, like Sending My Love and different stuff. They would have songs that they had played out on the piano, but it just wasn't fully produced into a song yet. And Love Me Today, all of those different records, off my Can't Get You Off My Mind, just all those records like that. And like they would have those records, but we would go into those if I didn't have something, and it would be like, okay, Kay, you got anything else? I'd be like, no, what you got? And then they would just start playing it. And like I said, that day, Renee pulled up, jumped out, and said, play this in the car. And once again, I had a van, I had an MPV van, I had a system in it. I always kept a system in it because I had to listen to mixes. So I was just playing the beat out there, and she sang it to me. And I was like, let's go lay it down.
That's interesting that you said it was about you. That does
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never that's cool. That's pretty cool. Now,
yeah.
what was I gonna say? Ah, God, pardon me, I forgot the question I was gonna ask. Shit. Okay,
So,
now, of course.
and
Okay, go
really
ahead.
quick, let me share this with you too. Like for that particular record, that record ended up on Flavor Unit compilation album. And if you go back and if you see it, the lineup of it, it's the last song on there. It's the only R&B song on there. It's not even supposed to be on it because that Flavor Unit compilation is supposed to be all hip hop. So I went to Sha Kim and I said, Sha, you got a compilation coming out. And he's like, yeah, what you want to put something on? I said, yeah, I want to put Zhane on it. And he's like, yeah, but that's R&B. I was just all hip hop. I said, I don't care, man. Like, I just need you to put this record on. I'm telling you, this record's gonna blow up. Just put the record on there. And he was just like, all right. And he tagged on the end of it. And he was just like, don't get me in trouble because everything I'm supposed to do on this project is supposed to go on Epic Records. You know that. And we almost ran into an issue too. Yup.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, yup. And because it ended up coming with me and my production deal on Motown, but it was on that compilation, which basically Shakim technically had to give everything first right of refusal to Epic that went off that project.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it almost didn't even go on there, and it ended up being the main thing on that project, and it blew up.
Now, talking of the theme of DJing, right? Like like you said before, this song was like about you. Of course, you started off as a DJ and then you progressed to being a producer. And that's a common like career path for a lot of producers. I mean, DJ Toon, DJ Premier, DJ Khalil. You don't even have to have a DJ in your name to be known as a DJ. I think Bink was a DJ at some point. A lot of producers
Yeah,
start,
probably 95% of
yeah.
the of producers are DJs.
So how did you find that transition from DJ to producer?
Pretty seamless and easy because it's almost when you're DJing, you're almost doing it anyway.
Mm,
Because if you think about the concept of DJing, you're running records, you're technically looping records live while by running them. and doing that. So, and then your ear, you're trained to find that piece in that record that you wanna run and loop and mess around with. So it's that's why that progression is so natural to all of the DJs to get into production, because you train your ear, you train what to look for, what feels good, what people will react to, and it makes it seamless for you.
Now, of course, the technology that was being used for DJing back then, and if you compare it to now, it's changed. There's been some advancements in technology, right? So, for example, I've got a Serato. For anyone that's bought Serato before, the modern day one, Pioneer DJ, you know what it's like. Would you say, now, I don't know, so I'm asking you this question. Do you think the improvements in technology, as far as DJing is concerned, has had an impact on the quality of production today?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think in a good way though. I think that is a good thing though.
Mm. How
I
so?
think it's been good because, like, I think that if you look at it, makes things a lot. It makes it faster, faster, quicker, and then you can, the way you can do certain things now, opposed to when you used to have to do it back then, especially with tape. When we had to do beats, we had to put stuff in the MPC. You only had a certain, if you're working with MPC, like a 1200, you only had a certain amount of seconds of sampling time. Now
Mm.
it's you could sample for hours now. Like you could just put stuff and just run it in a DAW and then just listen down and play a record down. You don't even have to put a record on a turntable now. Like I said, when I talked about earlier about Hip Hop Array being played on 45, you can just take it and speed it up in the sampler on a DAW. You just put in a sample and you can speed it up or slow it down. You can just, the thing now with time stretching, you can take a record and play a record on speed 45, but the key don't even change anymore now.
Mm.
So now for the people that when you getting real technical of keys and keeping music in a certain key, or maybe changing the key of a song of a sample, but like not changing the speed, you know, if something's on 90, but you wanted to feel and sound chipmunky, you can do that, or if you want to chipmunk something out and keep it at that tempo, you can do it. It's just so many different things you could do now that you can incorporate that you couldn't do before.
So, what do you think
But
of the?
but when
Go ahead.
you have the knowledge of both sides is also an advantage as well.
So, what do you think of the other side of the argument that, back in the day, because the technology wasn't as advanced, you had limitations, and arguably having a limitation can make you more creative, right?
It
Now,
can.
but now compared to today, where everything, like for example, on my machine, if I got two records playing at two different tempos, all I got to do is press a button. So there's less limitations, but surely that can have effects on your ability to be creative as well, in a negative way.
Well, it depends what you start with. If
Mm,
you started ahead of that, those limitations, you won't allow those limitations to limit you.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna still be creative. People are gonna be creative regardless if you have the opportunity or you have the tools or you don't. So, like if you want to be creative, and that's the good thing. Like the thing is that the fact that it has it doesn't stop you from still being creative. A creative person is gonna be creative with whatever they have. So if
mm.
you got a bunch of stuff, you're gonna just still be creative with a bunch of stuff, and you're gonna be creative in your way. And if you're limited, then you're gonna be creative with the limited resources you have. But if you have unlimited resources, you can still be creative with that. That don't mean you have to do it just because you have everything at your disposal that you use it. You don't have to use it.
That's true. That's true. But some it can make some people lazy. That's another side to the
Well, it
argument.
depends on if people start that way, which is fine. I
Yeah,
mean, if a
yeah.
person starts that way and they start on that technology and that's what they do, like when you said like beat matching and all that stuff, if they start it and that's what they want to do, I mean, that's fine. Like the thing is that it's all about the end result. So whatever you hear out, long as if they're DJing, if they can keep the dance floor, you know, crowded and people feel good and they playing the right records, however they get to that road is fine. Long as they getting there. Because I don't think nobody is going to be standing over that person's shoulder saying how's he doing it? How's he doing this? How's he doing that? There's no need to be a hater like that. The bottom line is that if it's feeling good and if it's working. Now, if you're terrible, you're terrible. You can be terrible and have all of those things at your disposal, and you're still gonna be terrible. It don't matter.
Brother, check this out. I just want to let you know that you are. It's just an honor to meet you. You are a vital part of my childhood with this record. When it came out, it resonated through the house nonstop, and it is one of the hardest cries I ever experienced in my life, particularly because I was young when this came out and I had never saw women with short hair before. Freaked me the fuck out so bad because I thought they were sick or it was something wrong with them, and I immediately broke down. I'll never forget this shit, and my family ain't never let me forget this shit, that when I saw these women, I was horrified. Of course, having heard the record first, we all loved the song. Then the video came, saw him, lost my shit. Grew out of that eventually, but that shit sticks with you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know that you was a part of
that. That's hilarious. Thanks, though, man. Like, I appreciate that. That's hilarious, though.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next song. You guys know the vibes. I'm going to play a sample. As soon as you know the song from our very special guest catalog that used the sample questions, come off your mic, say your name, and just say name the artist, name the song. If you get it right, you will hear this wonderful sound. If you get it wrong, you will hear this unfortunate sound. And thankfully, we've not heard too many sounds like that tonight, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go straight to it. Let's do it.